Well, time now for the question of the day. Today it comes from Reg in New York. Ray saw yesterday's show and our piece about China's Muslims heading to the Hajj. He asked, how many Muslims are there in China?
Well, Ray, that's an interesting question. There are no exact figures because, interestingly, unlike many countries, China does not have a question on its census, as you know, to fill in and say what your religion is. But the figures that we have come up with, Ray, are that China is home to a large population of adherents, and probably the estimates from the best figures are about 1 to 2% of the population. Now, that would mean about, say, 100 to 130 million people, but very much an estimate. Nobody can be quite sure.
But, of course, Muslim is not the only religion in China. There are other religions as well. Right?
Indeed, there are. In fact, within the Muslim religion itself, two branches, the Shiite and the Sunni. And in China, that is divided up into the Hui, who make up the majority, who are what we consider very Chinese people. They look like Han Chinese. They're found across the country, but particularly in the Ningxia Hui region. And then there are in the western regions, the Uyghur people, who are also Islamic, also Muslims. And larger numbers there spread, but much, much more onto the west side. Other religions we have here, of course, Christianity, Taoism, which could be considered, I suppose, the indigenous religion of China if there were one, and Buddhism, which gradually spread into the country and became very, very popular. And as you and I and tourists who come here would know, many temples, many of the famous temples in China, both Buddhist and Taoist temples across the country. Well worth a visit, Ray. So I hope that answers your question. And remember, each day we answer your questions about life here in China. You can email us those questions to news@bonlive.com.